Good morning. These are your BYU-Idaho Radio morning headlines for Thursday, August 14th, 2025. Thanks for listening. I'm Alex Batman. A river guide met her match on the Salmon River this rafting season. Shannon McDougall, a seasoned guide with a love for the outdoors, has spent the past 4 summers leading rafting trips down rivers in eastern Idaho. This summer, she worked for the BYU-Idaho Outdoor Activities Department, guiding trips on the Salmon River's daily section. Though she was familiar with the route, the river had something new to offer, a Class 4 rapid.
It was at 6,000 CFS, and CFS is cubic feet per second.
Faced with the rapid, McDougall had 2 options: run the left side, the recommended route, or follow the raft ahead, which had taken the right. Relying on her experience, McDougall chose the left.
So we have 6,000 CFS water, pushing us and giving us that momentum. And then we're rowing and paddling with everything we got. And we drop down into this hole and the wave just kind of stops that momentum.
When the momentum stopped, the raft's movement also stopped.
But I got launched like 6 feet in the air and come down on my shoulder on the raft.
She landed back inside the boat as the current began pushing them forward again. But something felt wrong.
I stand up in my boat to get back on the oars, and my shoulder is dangling.
Oh.
My arm is just dangling, and I could not move it at all.
The group in the raft soon realized their guide had stopped giving them commands. McDougall told them she no longer could move her arm, but urged them to keep paddling. Another guide from BYU-Idaho Outdoors Activities was on board and took over rowing the right oar while McDougall handled the left. Once they reached a safe spot to pull ashore, her condition worsened.
I knew that I was so far away from any medical attention.
They fashioned a makeshift splint using a life jacket to immobilize her arm. McDougall lay on the raft floor for the 2-hour float back to the vehicles. From there, she faced a 3.5-hour drive to receive medical care. Her injury, a labral tear in her shoulder, will take months to heal. Still, McDougall said she misses the river and hopes to return next year.
Number 1 rule of the river is respect the river. People like to say that they conquered a river, but the river allowed them to pass.
To hear more of McDougall's story, listen to the full interview on BYU-Idaho Radio's podcast on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Bonneville County Sheriff's Office deputies are urging residents in the Idaho Falls and Ammon area to make sure to lock up their things. The Sheriff's Office is investigating reports of items taken from storage units, vehicles, and small buildings in the Idaho Falls and Ammon area. According to EastIdahoNews.com, the Sheriff's Office reports Swan Valley residents have found tools and items stolen from small storage buildings and sheds, and fishing gear has been taken from vehicles near the Snake River boat ramps and fishing areas. Deputies, in a statement released yesterday, are asking area residents to keep their buildings, homes, and vehicles secured at all times, because some of these thefts may have been able to be prevented. They are also asking community members to report suspicious activity as soon as possible to Bonneville County Dispatch at 208-529-1200. Fire crews on the Idaho-Montana border are actively combating a fire that started yesterday. The Horn Fire, a brush fire burning in Madison County, Wyoming, along the Idaho-Montana border, has forced authorities to close off Highway 87 in all directions. What began as a 30-acre brush fire has since become a 400-acre blaze. According to the National Interagency Fire Center, the Madison County Sheriff's Office has issued a warning for possible evacuation for residents on both sides of the Highway 87 on the far southern end of Madison County, as well as for Madison River Ranch in the southern end of Madison County. Both are only a warning notice at this time. The fire was reported at 2:24 p.m. yesterday. It was started by lightning and quickly spread due to wind in the area. These have been your BYU-Idaho Radio morning headlines for August 14th, 2025. Thanks for tuning in. More news, interviews, and great content are available on our podcast feed. Search for BYU-Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast apps. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and more. You can also ask your smart speakers to play KBYI 94.3 FM. This is BYU-Idaho Radio, and I'm Alex Batman.